going on, y'all? It's Forrest Londa with the Toffee Blues, typical host of the Toffee Blues USA show. Here to talk with a game that you all just watched, Villa 3, Everton 2, another capitulation by the Toffees. A very frustrating day, once again. I don't know, to have that happen two weeks or two games in a row is just very disheartening. I know how we're all feeling right now, but we can just start from the beginning. The first 15, Villa were on top. Just, kind of how we all expected the game to go. They were creating some chances, but we were dealing with them well, and I felt very calm. I was like, okay, I've seen this narrative, this script before with this club and this team under Sean Dyche, just trying to grow into the game a bit more, waiting for their opportunity to strike. We did. Thankfully, McNeil came in and stole the ball off of Nana and put away a very good shot. Just the little snipe that he seems to be capable of doing into the bottom corner past Emi Martinez. When I look back at it, I was like, I could see why they would call that a foul, but I'm glad they didn't. It was a little soft, and Nana threw himself down more or less to try to buy the foul. It was a great shot. Great to go 1-0 up. Then we get the second. A great, header, free header really from Dominic Calvert-Lewin. The goal was interesting because when you watch the replays and they were looking at the offside, originally when I watched that goal live, I thought, well, that's offside. It looked offside. And then you look at the replay and look at the angle that they show, and Tielemans really more or less is getting pushed by Tarkowski to keep Calvert-Lewin onside. I'm sure that's not something that referees would normally look for, or maybe even call a foul at this point. Maybe it's something that they bring up one day, but 2-0 up, and we're all sitting there thinking, or at least I am, I'm sitting there thinking, gosh, like this could be Brighton away, that first half a season under Dyche. We have this opportunity to come out and make a performance, put it together. And obviously it didn't happen. I think right before that second goal, Mikalenko comes off injured, and the limitations that we have as a team continue to show. Garner comes on at right back. It's a really, really tough ask for him. And immediately Villa start to attack that side. They come out, they are prepared, and their first goal comes off Dyche having a lot of space. And Garner, he can't react, he can't get there in time, and Dyche, we all know, is a very good crosser of the ball. Puts it in a great spot for Watkins to head in. And really that goal isn't, in my opinion, that's not Garner's fault. It's not his position. He's being asked to play in a position and a role that he's not very comfortable with. That was very obvious. And really it's Keane's fault. He doesn't try to put a body on Watkins. He gets under the ball too and stoops down to head it, where Watkins just takes the space above his head and thumps it home. Pickford was in no man's land. It was a great ball. And so that was the starts that we all knew was coming after those two goals. Or at least, like I said, I thought we could turn it around and make it a Brighton sort of game, but we didn't. Villa continued to stay on top throughout the end of the first half, and into the second half. It's just frustrating. We sat back, and eventually Villa just get their second. Again, a mistake by Harrison. These are the things that you, as a manager, Sean Dyche, and us as fans wouldn't necessarily account for, but these are mistakes that tend to happen to Everton over and over and over. We've seen it so many times before, but these mistakes that cost us goals, that are in key areas where it just falls to the opposing striker and he puts it away calmly with no problem. At 2-2, he's bringing on Mangala, he's bringing on O'Brien, he's going to 3 at the back, and he's saying, look, we've already thrown away our lead. Let's just try to get some balls through to Calvert-Lewin and shore this up. And it's the same old song and dance. Any manager that goes, and Moyes used to do this. I'm sure Koeman, I don't remember much of his tenure because it was very awful. It was very unmemorable. But so many managers that we've had in the past, and just managers in general, when they put on a defensive player to try to save a tie, it's never going to work, because automatically the other team says, oh, they're not going to press anymore. They're not looking to get at us. Now we're going to play with the freedom and try to find the right path, because all we need is that one goal and one chance. And it came. Look, that goal is fantastic from John Duran. Hits it from 30, 35 yards out. Just a ridiculous strike into the top corner. And looking back at it, it's not Pickford's fault. He did what he could to try to save that ball. But again, I think this start to the season has been so abysmal by everybody involved in that back four. So inconsistent, so laden with mistakes. And I think Pickford is somebody that I personally am starting to get a little worried about with Everton and his performances. I don't know if he isn't 100% fit. I don't know if he's a bit jaded and needs a bit more of a rest after the Euros, but or if he's just starting to regress a little bit. But he really is just looking shaky. And again, it could be having Keane in front of him. And when we look at Keane starting over and over and over, I think there's a very set tactical reason why Sean Dyche does that. And it's because Keane can play those crossfield balls to Harrison or to whoever's on the right side, because he'll play on the left side of the center back pairing. And that's where he'll focus on getting those balls forward. That seems to be against like, who was it now? It doesn't matter. Like this is a tactic against Spurs. We were trying to play that ball over and over to Harrison, and it was Keane trying to make those passes over and over. And at the end of the day, like if that's a tactical decision, okay, but you can't sit there and look at the mistakes that are happening and the fragility of this team and say, I've got to keep playing Keane there. And look, watched O'Brien play today a bit. I can see to an extent why Dyche is hesitant to just throw him out there. He's a bit slow. He's a bit cumbersome, but he's just energetic and he's big. And we think of like a center back and what Branthwaite was when he first started. He was just a big guy who was just there to shore things up, and it's what we needed. And now you look at O'Brien and we think, like I immediately thought after that first goal, that's a goal that O'Brien probably gets his head on and gets the ball away, and that doesn't become a goal, and we can take a 2-0 lead in the halftime possibly, and then we can build. But then the issue becomes we don't build. We get a lead and we get too comfortable as a team. Dyche gets too comfortable as a manager and doesn't make the hard decisions of, well, I need to take somebody off. I need to make this change. I need to be proactive. It is a blind trust in the players that he has on the pitch. Oh, they've already done the job that I need of them right now, so I can trust them to continue to do that. Rather than either putting his pride aside or understanding that he's not trying to hurt them by taking them off, but saying it's tactical. We need to do this. This is the right time. And if players can't understand that, then players can't understand that. But it's just so pointed when you see Mangala come on and immediately he's making signals and doing, two-man here. And it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know why we're doing this. I don't know why I'm playing this, but this is what's going on. And that in and of itself speaks volumes of where we are at as a team and where Sean Dyche is as a manager, and watching his I don't know if you want to call it progression or evolution. As a manager, he is so heavily reliant on Branthwaite coming back in that team. And it is why he's not going to get sacked yet. It's because he knows he is preaching to anybody who'll listen. That isn't press. That isn't a fan. We need Branthwaite back. You have to give me time until he comes back so I can shore this up. And that's just amateur hour, being that reliant on one player. And it's not just Sean Dyche's fault. There are so many problems with this club that are manifesting themselves in a different way every season, a different way every week. And it's hard to just put your finger on any one thing and think that's something we could fix, because there's just so many. And we don't have the structure and we don't have the money to fix those things. But look, we've got a chance against Southampton in the Carabao Cup on Tuesday to at least start to put things right. Maybe we see Branthwaite play. Maybe we see somebody like Patterson get an opportunity. But the real focus is going to be on Leicester next Saturday. Saturday, Sunday, I'm not quite sure either way. And trying to get a result there. And if Branthwaite's back, he has to play. And he will play. And that will be Dyche's real opportunity to say, look, I can maintain these leads. It's just because we don't have the players in place. And the fullback situation is becoming a bigger and bigger issue, y'all. I can imagine Patterson will get an opportunity to come in and play. But I don't know if Dyche really has that much trust in him. Or he'll just say, look, Coleman's fit. Sorry, Nathan, you're going to be on the bench this time. And it will just be like that over and over for Nathan. I don't know. But up the Toffees. We go back again on Tuesday against Southampton. And we just have to hope that we see something different.